Welcome to today's presentation on the CommunityForce Scholar United Scholarship Management Software. For today's presentation, we will be focusing on you, the scholarship provider, and how you can leverage the CommunityForce software to automate your entire opportunity application lifecycle process. Match applicants to your scholarships, automate the evaluation process, award online, and also report on the data as well. Let's start with the applicant. As the applicant, they can create their account on the fly. They don't have to reach out to you folks to create, they get access to the online scholarship portal. When they select create new account, they can complete the registration form, agree to any terms of service or privacy policy that you've created. And then when they hit submit, they will be provided with their login credentials and can simply log in. This is a configurable site. What I mean by that is you can brand the site with your logo. You can add your logo in the top left-hand corner, as well as update and change the theme colors. You can also change the welcome message that you see here. So when I log in as the applicant, if they have applications that they have already started, they'll see that list here. They can go back to the search page to view the opportunities that your organization offers. They can either search by keyword, they can search by drop-down, they can answer these drop-down questions that you can customize, and that will zero in on opportunities that they could be eligible for. If they select view all opportunities, it will open up a list of all of the available opportunities that they can view. You can advertise the scholarships by providing a brief description. They can click on each individual scholarship to view more if necessary. You can have each opportunity can have its own cycle dates that can be overlapping. If the applicant does click on a particular opportunity, you can advertise a description as well as any additional information that's necessary when it comes to them reviewing the opportunity. Let's go to My Applications. So the My Applications tab, where they can see the applications that they're currently working on, applications that they may have already submitted, or applications that they have already been awarded. They can see the opportunity name, academic year. If they've submitted the application, they will see the date it was submitted, the application deadline, and the status of the application. The PDF column here is where they can download a PDF copy of the application. I'm going to click on this application here.
So this is the application dashboard where the applicants can see the customized instructions. Each block icon that you see here will identify each section of the application. It's not where all the questions are on one page where your applicants have to scroll to view the entire application. Here they can visually identify each section of the application, as well as each section does come with a completion bar, a status bar, where the applicant can see how far complete they are with each section. And just a quick example of what each section could look like. Click on personal information, you will notice that each section can also have its own customized instructions. If I scroll down, you'll notice the different question types that you can select from. Some may include drop-down questions, numeric format type questions, simple text box questions. There's about 20 different question types you can select from within CommunityForce to build your application. You also can have conditional logic, or some may call it branch logic, that could be applied. So based on how the applicant is responding or answering your questions, new sets of questions could open up and require the applicants to complete. Now, any letters, recommendations, attachments, if it's coming from the applicant, if they have access to the document, most likely they'll just upload those documents themselves. But for letters, recommendations, typically this is coming from a third party person, where they'll put in their recommended information and request that information from them. So that will be all completely automated, where the applicant can go to the request section, and depending on the application, it may just ask them for one, or may ask them for multiple requests or recommendations. So you can customize the instructions that the applicant can see, and then the applicant can click on the request, put in the recommender's information, and then notify that recommender. So the system will provide an email notification to the recommender, and they will just click on a link, and it will direct them straight to the application or that recommendation form for them to complete. To go back to the application, once the applicant has completed all the required sections, the system does allow for fund matching. So if you have like a common application tied to multiple funding sources, one application tied to multiple scholarships, and each scholarship may have to have its own unique criteria. So you as the scholarship provider can manage that criteria and tie that to the application, where the applicant can just fill out one application. And then if you have it where some scholarships or some opportunities may require them to complete or provide an additional essay, or they may have to provide an additional attachment. So the system, the CommunityForce platform, can automate that in a way where it will match them to their eligible funds based on the criteria. And if any other scholarships or opportunities require additional information, the system will see that, and it may open up a new section, or you may notice a section will reduce from 100% down to a lower percentage. So for example, if I click on fund eligibility, the applicant can you provide instructions where they can update the list and select the funds that they're eligible for, or the system will automatically match them to the funds that they're eligible for. And then when they go back to save and return a dashboard, you'll notice that 3 sections are now down to 50% because one or more scholarships now require me to provide additional information. So that's the fund matching capability. Now let's take a view from the admin perspective. The admin will simply just log in with their login credentials, the same URL. Once they log in, it'll take them to a list of their applications. They'll see on high level the name of the application, funding source, the cycle dates, as well as the total number of applications that are currently in this cycle. They can search by keyword if necessary. And once they click onto a funding or an application, it will take them to a list of their applicants, where they can manage the applicants. They can see in real time of the statuses of each applicant to push them to the next step. So they are able to also filter by status or even search by keyword to view their applicants. Once they're ready, they can push their applicants to the next step to be reviewed by their committee. To do so, the admin will be able to manage each committee. If there's multiple, they can create each separate committee with their own separate members. They can label the committees accordingly. They can manage those reviewers here, and also they can even add new reviewers if necessary if they're not already in the database. Once they've created their committee group, they may use a scoring rubric or a task card, which could be used to score each applicant. Now each committee can have its own unique scoring rubric, or if you have one scoring rubric that they all use, that can be set up as well. Each scoring rubric can be set up accordingly with their own unique set of questions. Here's just a preview of how a scoring rubric would look. On the right hand side where it says application summary, this is where the application will be presented. But as the admin, before you move on to confirm that this is the rubric that you want, you can preview that here to make sure it looks presentable. Once you've created your committee group and your scoring rubric, now it's time for you to assign the applicants to their committee. This is the assignment screen, where you can select the scoring rubric as well as the appropriate committee group. You can select display applicants to view all the applicants that had not been assigned to a reviewer. Right now it's showing 43 applicants and my 4 reviewers. If all 43 get assigned to all reviewers, then you'll simply just select all, and hit save assignment. You also could use the feature where you may want to break down the applications up evenly. So say this is 40 applications to 4 reviewers. So essentially that'd be 10 applications per reviewer. I can go and hit 10. If I select go, the system will the system will select the first 10 batch of applicants, and I can select that Chad and hit save assignment. Maybe I want random applicants, so I want the system to randomly select 10 applicants, and I may want to randomly select, have the system select the next reviewer, or I can manually select which reviewer will be assigned the first batch of 10 applicants. Once I hit save, this will reduce by 10, and now I can assign the next batch to the other reviewer. Once you're ready, you can notify the reviewers that the applications are now ready to be reviewed. Before we get into the reviewer's perspective, I wanted to quickly show you how the admin has also control over the application settings and how they can set up the scholarships or the opportunities within the platform itself. If they go over application settings, this is where they can manage the backend. So those icons, those sections, those blocks that you saw as the applicant, this is where the admin can manage each of those sections by changing the section name. They can change the display name as well as the icons if necessary. And then once they're done with that, they can go into, if I click on the actual section name, it will open up the list of the questions that they can either edit or they can delete or add new questions into this section. To add a question, just simply select add question. And from here, they can put in the question name, the display name. From here, they can put the question name, as well as select the question type. Drop down, currency format, numeric, file type questions, about 28 different types of questions that you can select from. Once you select the question type, there's a couple other settings where you can make it required. A few other settings where you can even hide the questions from reviewers. And you can change the display order number and then hit save and exit. Once you are done with adding all the questions, you can hit preview to view all the questions to make sure it looks presentable before you move on to the next section. Once you've created all your questions and sections of the application and you're good to go, your next step would be to create the funding source or the scholarship. Within CommunityForce, there's no limit to the amount of opportunities that you can have. You can create new funding sources or simply edit a funding source. This is where you can manage the funding source name, the associated application. This is where you can manage the budget for this academic year. And you can create a few other custom fields here to keep track of information regarding the scholarship. Once you hit publish, it's now live and you can start accepting applications. So that's how you will create an application, create your scholarship, make it live, and you're good to go. Now, once you've collected the evaluations from the reviewers, you are now able to use the system to view the top score, total score, as well as the average score. If this is just one application tied to one scholarship or one opportunity, then you're going to select Manage Awards, One Fund, and it's going to show you the funding source name, as well as your budget that's available. That way you can see exactly how much has already been awarded and how much is available. You may want to run some filters to view the applicants that have been reviewed, and select total score to sort and view your top ranked applicants. By default, the system will show your top 10. You can change that by selecting top 10, top 20, etc. And it's going to show you now your top 10 applicants where you can go in and view the application details. So if I select the applicant name, it will take me to the application where I can view the application here itself. If I go back, I can also view a breakdown of the evaluations. Once I'm ready to award, I will simply select edit mode and I can put in the award amount. Now if it's a different amount for each student, you can manually control that. Or if it's this same amount and you have, say, 3 awardees, you can do a batch update. So now they have each $5,000 scholarship. When you are ready, you can select Notify and notify the applicants, the ones that have been awarded, with that award letter. And you may even have another step where they have to accept the scholarship as well as provide a thank you letter, maybe upload a photo or just to provide any additional information at this time, which is called an acceptance section. And you can use the CommunityForce platform to capture that information if necessary, if that is a step and part of your cycle. You can use the available merge fields to customize the email as well. That is how you would manage the awarding process to CommunityForce with a one application tied to one opportunity. Now, if you have, say, an application tied to maybe 10, you may have even hundreds of scholarships tied to one application, so a common application tied to multiple funds. Here you can select Manage Awards, multiple funds, and it's going to take you to a list of the scholarships that have been assigned, associated with this application here. On high level, you're going to see the total amount that's been allocated, so your budget, your max budget, how much has already been awarded, and how much is left. You can see as well as the total number of applicants, number of matching applicants, and if I click into, say, the scholarship here, I can do a deeper dive and view this 101 applicants that are matched for this particular scholarship. Now you can also run some filters to view the ones that have been awarded, as well as sort by total and average score. If I want to go in and view the matching awards, so I want to see exactly what other scholarships that this particular applicant is matched to, I can view that by clicking this icon. Here are some application details that I have selected as the admin to be visible during this process. And here are the different types of scholarships that this particular applicant has been matched to. When you're ready to award, you can simply hit Award Applicant. If they have already been awarded a scholarship, you'll see a list of the scholarships here. But if not, this will be blank. If I want to award this applicant the scholarship, I'll hit Add Award. Select the scholarship name. Put in the final award amount. If this is a renewable scholarship, you can hit the setting. You can select renewable, and you can put in the renewable dates, as well as any other custom questions, either just custom questions, custom fields that I've added to keep track of this particular award. Once you've added the appropriate information, you'll hit Save, and you have now awarded this particular applicant. Now they won't get notified until you're ready, and you will select those applicants that are in that particular status. So if I did hit Save and I added that scholarship, this is if I added that scholarship, this would change to selected for the award, and then I would select those applicants and notify them through the system with that award letter. Now, the next step could be a report. You want to see some data, maybe an award report. This could be something that would go to your finance team. This is just an example. So I have 5 reports now that I've created. This is my reporting dashboard where I can view different types of reports that are used throughout the process. For example, this is the award report where I can view all the awarded applicants here, and I can export I may want to export this report to Excel and provide that to my finance team, where they can automate complete the fund disbursement process. These are all custom. This is a custom report where I've managed and selected the different types of questions to be visible. By doing so, I will select the edit button here just to show you an example of how I can manage this report. I can change the report name, put in a description here, as well as select what data points I want to include and how I want it to be visible to maybe all of my admins or just myself. Save and next will bring me to a place where I can select the different data points, section data. For example, this will list the different sections within this application here. If I select, say, the personal information section, it will open up the questions that are in that section, where I can select those questions here and bring that over if necessary. I believe this is ethnic group here, so I want to bring over the ethnic, maybe a different, just for demographics, I can bring that over. Maybe that's all I want for now. Hit Save and Next. Applicants that have been awarded. So this is just like a filter here, so I don't want all my applicants, just applicants that have been awarded, right? So I'm going to hit just make a selection here where the status is award accepted, hit finish, hit view, and now here's my report. You'll see the ethnic group here, the code that I've added. If I want to export this to Excel, hit the button. It will open up the report pre-formatted. Here's the report. So that's how you as the admin will be able to manage reports in the system. Now let's go into the reviewer. Quickly show you how it will look for them once you have made the assignment, and now they're required to go in to complete the reviews and submit their evaluations. So I'm Mike Livergood, the reviewer. You'll notice that there's different types of funding sources here, different opportunities I'm associated with. On the right, it'll show the task card name. So this is the school and rubric name that the admin has assigned me to use to review these applicants in this particular opportunity. And the right-hand side will show me the applicant number, the number of applicants that have been assigned to me. I'm going to go ahead and select this application here. This is where I'm going to view high level my number of assignments, how far complete I am, how many are still pending, and how many have I submitted. Once I submit the evaluation, the admin of this program or this scholarship will be notified that I have completed my evaluation. For an example, if I go into Johnny's application here, this is where we're going to see the application information on the right and the scoring rubric on the left. So I can scroll separately as well, make this a little bit bigger if necessary, and I'm going to answer the questions that have been created within this rubric. So you'll notice here there's different categories. This is a 0 to 3 point system here per category. You'll be able to control and customize how what values and the point system that may be involved within your rubric. Here's the application on the right. Any attachments that the applicant provides will be in the bottom. So if I scroll down, I just did a quick scroll. This is where I can view any. The system will provide a preview of any attachments that have been provided from the applicant here. So the reviewer doesn't have to download each single attachment to take up space of their computer to view each of the supporting documents. They are able to see a preview here, high level. If they wanted to, they can scroll down even further and they'll see a link of the actual attachment for them to download. If I scroll back up again, you'll also notice that there's a feature where you can enable the reviewer to see other, their colleagues within their committee and how they have reviewed this particular applicant. So you can enable that as well. Once the reviewer is complete, they're done and complete, you can capture their electronic signature here to just verify that they, the information they've provided is correct and accurate. And once they're done, they can hit Save and Next, and they can proceed to the next applicant. Once they're done, they can email. They may have a group discussion. So depending on your process, you may have them have a group discussion so they can export this, export this report to Excel, or maybe bring this during that discussion to have that, to go over those reviewers. Once they're done, they can use this as a tool to keep track of their evaluations and make sure that they may have a meeting, right, a group discussion that they can bring this to and provide their feedback.